In a letter to Channel 2 News, Keith Jesperson says he wants to make a full confession for his crimes as the so-called happy face killer. The top and bottom carry the happy face sign Jesperson says he used as a trademark for his murders. And in a telephone conversation from the Clark County Jail, Jesperson went into even more detail about the killings.
Well, I am responsible for the happy face killing, which includes 8 people in 5 states. And there are a lot of victims out there, and I'm very sorry. I didn't, for the life of me, I can't understand myself why.
The 40-year-old long-haul truck driver says he murdered a total of 8 people in Washington, Oregon, California, Florida, and Wyoming over the course of 5 years. Jesperson says he started drawing the smiley face symbol to tempt investigators into tracking him.
I wanted it known. I wasn't trying to brag that I was, and then I sat down with my conscience and started writing something.
But it wasn't until last March, when authorities found the body of 41-year-old Julie Winningham dumped along the Camas Highway, that investigators began linking the cases. They arrested and charged Jesperson in the Camas Highway killing. Jesperson says he doesn't really know why he started his killing spree.
I wasn't out chasing around and trying to grab what I could out in the street. If that was the case, I've given rides to people all over the country, and no, I'm not out looking for it. I just got caught in a situation where it was whatever.
Jesperson's confessing, he says, because he believes at least one person's been imprisoned for crimes he committed. Keith Jesperson takes steps toward a court appearance he's tried to avoid for years,
as well as an order entering a plea of no contest to the aggravated murder count.
After prosecutors read off the charges, and with the victim's family looking on, Jesperson gave grisly details of how in 1990 he killed 23-year-old Tanya Bennett in his apartment.
And forced my fist into her throat, and later grabbed the rope and tied it around her neck securely, and she was dead.
Jesperson says he left the body in the Columbia Gorge, then cleaned up his house.
Washed the carpet, I washed the blood off the walls, what I could, and eventually painted the walls of the house I was in, and tried to forget about it.
I will assign an order entering a finding of guilty.
Under oath, Jesperson denied knowing John Sosnovsky or Laverne Pavlinac, 2 people already serving time for the murder. Pavlinac's been hoping Jesperson's confessions set her free.
There's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, I'm hoping.
And Laverne Pavlinac's daughter sees today's court action as another step toward her mother's freedom.
And we're hoping that these legal proceedings pave the way for Mom to be released.
Has she said anything to you today about this?
I haven't talked to her today, but I'm sure that I'll talk to her this evening. She's very anxious to come home.
She thought her mother would come home last week, but a Marion County judge refused to release Pavlinac and Sosnovsky, saying there's no proof to show they didn't help Jesperson commit the murder. Deputy DA Jim McIntyre believes Jesperson's guilty plea today can change that.
He has become evidence that we intend to use.
Which means this confessed serial killer may have finally given prosecutors enough evidence to set 2 imprisoned people free. Bob High, Channel 2 News. As authorities build murder cases around the claims of Keith Jesperson, the self-proclaimed happy face killer appears in Clark County Court. A judge today continued a gag order against Jesperson, limiting his contact with others before he goes on trial for murdering a Camas woman. Now, some Oregon authorities are convinced Jesperson is in fact the serial killer he claims to be. The other case closest to being tied to Jesperson is the death of 23-year-old Lori Pentland of Carlton. She was found strangled behind a store in Salem in 1992. Investigators in Marion County are waiting for forensics results to confirm their suspicion that Pentland is one of Jesperson's victims. Jesperson earned the nickname the Happy Face Killer in letters to Channel 2 News and other media outlets, claiming responsibility for 8 murders. The notes included happy face insignias. Right now, Jesperson is charged in the March murder of Julie Winningham in Washougal. He's also a suspect in a January killing in Nebraska, an unsolved murder in Florida, the 1992 strangling of Lori Pentland in Salem, and he's at the center of a review in the 1990 murder of Tanya Bennett along the Crown Point Highway. Laverne Pavlinac and John Sosnovsky were sentenced to life terms in connection with Bennett's murder, a case Pavlinac says she tricked authorities into believing. Multnomah County authorities say they're still trying to confirm Jesperson's claims of responsibility in that case. At the Clark County Courthouse in Vancouver, Bob High, Channel 2 News.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jeff Gianola. Yesterday, in an exclusive interview with Channel 2 News, alleged murderer Keith Jesperson confessed to being the so-called happy face killer. He now admits to killing 8 people during a murder spree across 5 western states since 1990. Jesperson remains in the Clark County Jail, charged with the murder of a Camas woman last March. This morning, you can listen to the entire telephone interview reporter Bob High had with Keith Jesperson. Jesperson begins by saying why he now is going public with this information.
I wrote the letter to start some kind of proceedings, hopefully get the guy out of Oregon being wrongly accused of it. That's the happy face letters. This letter, I wrote it because I want to come clean with everything.
Essentially, then you're saying that you're in the happy face killer?
I am the happy face killer.
There's no doubt.
There is no doubt in my mind. No, I am him. That was started for some kind of show proof that there's somebody out there that's responsible for that crime, because an innocent man was sentenced. He was forced to take a plea bargain to save his life.
Why come forward at this time, then?
Well, I got arrested, like you know, and it was just bound to happen. But I've been trying to do it anonymously. I got into this problem I'm in, and I was dealing with the Gideons and the prison ministry, and I was talking to them, and they were talking to me about coming forth with the truth. And thank God, you know, I've got them to come and talk to me, and I was able to come out and tell the truth, and I want to get it all over with, so that this man that's in OSP is not prosecuted anymore for his crime, for a crime he didn't commit.
I understand. For people who don't understand the series of killings, first of all, why did you do them?
I can't answer on that right this time without talking to my attorney, because we still have legal grounds on this. I want to just make sure that it did happen. I'm not denying that they happened. I will come with a full confession on every victim that I have taken care of. I want to make sure it's all out in the open.
And again, outline the number of victims.
There are 8 total victims in the following states of Washington, Oregon, California, Florida, and Wyoming.
And all under the happy face killer?
Yeah, they have been told. The first things I put out were writing on bathroom walls. You wouldn't believe what people write on bathroom walls. They be surprised how fast it gets to management, and then people come and see it and give a reasonable doubt. I wanted it known. I wasn't trying to brag that I was. I was trying to get something started, and then that never did anything. They just passed that off as a prank call or whatever. And then I sat down with my conscience and started writing something, and I tried to make myself make the happy face, which I did not name. Phil Stanford from the Oregonian, actually, he's a freelance writer now, named that the happy face. All I did is sign a circle with 2 little eyes and a crescent smile.
I understand. And your thoughts about what you've done? Anything that you'd like to say to people?
Well, people look. You know, I'm afraid they're going to look at me and they're going to try to say, "Well, this guy's, you know, he's sick, he's over," and it's probably true. I am more than probably. I do have a problem. I know I have a problem. I didn't go looking for I didn't look for it to happen. I wasn't out chasing around and trying to grab what I could out in the street. If that was the case, I've given rides to people all over the country, and no, I'm not out looking for it. I just got caught in a situation where it was whatever. I'm going to talk with my attorney later.
And again, for my understanding, just so I understand, you're the happy face killer, and just tell me what you can.
Well, I am the happy face killer. I'm dubbed that by Phil Stanford. I tried to make it look like somebody was really, vicious and that was out there. And a lot of things said in those happy face letters were not really true in actually the crime content. But they were started to get I was trying to get someone to maybe start an investigation going back to maybe they would release this guy. He was wrongly accused after his ex-wife accused him. She has a reputation of playing wolf, and the Multnomah County Sheriff Department helped her fabricate a lie, so got her convicted for 10 years, and after she got convicted for 10 years, they used that against him for leverage so he could cop a plea bargain, so he could go to jail without having to face a trial, and he saved his life, basically.
Finally, do you have a sense of remorse at all? People, when they hear you talk about this, they might say, "Well, how could he have done those crimes? He sounds pretty collected about the whole thing."
Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but I can't understand how I could do it myself. I've always thought I was a nice person. I've always brought myself out like that, and I've always got along with everybody. And I've come from a broken home, alcoholism and that. I'm not going to blame that. Of course, there's going to be psychologists that are going to stick their nose in it, and they're going to ask how sane I am. And I am a sane person. I'm saner now than I probably ever have been. I'm coming forth with the truth. I want to make sure it's out there. Remorse? Yeah, I have a lot of remorse. I haven't slept a good night's sleep in 5 years, 5.5 years.
Once again, the one statement you'd like to make about what you're responsible for?
Well, I am responsible for the happy face killing, which includes 8 people in 5 states, and there are a lot of victims out there, and I'm very sorry. I didn't, for the life of me, I can't understand myself why, but there's probably a lot of people I know that probably can't understand how I could even. So, that's how I'd like to leave it right this moment.
Okay, Keith, I appreciate that very much, and I think this will help get the word out, and I think it sounds to me that's what you want to do, is get the word out to people who you want to get in touch with.
Well, I want, first of all, I want the guy that's doing my time out. I mean, he is wrongly accused, and I've been trying to do that for years, but nobody wants to listen to writings on the walls. They read about them all the time, but they don't want to listen to them.
For my information, when did that killing take place, and what case do you remember?
Well, it happened back in January, in the middle of January, about 2/3 way down, and happened in the Portland area.
Portland area. That'll just help me track down the case in case the investigators don't know what I'm talking about or whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right.
In January in the Portland area this year?
Pardon?
January of this year?
No, that was 1990.
1990, okay. I was going to say. Okay. Keith, I appreciate it very much.
And thank you very much.
Okay, take care now.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
The Clark County Prosecutor's Office confirms Jesperson is the center of an ongoing investigation and adds the list of his suspected crimes is probably longer than the 8 killings he's claiming responsibility for. We'll continue to follow this case as it develops. I'm Jeff Gianola.